For years, the electric car industry made the same promise over and over. Soon, they said, there would be an electric car that was genuinely affordable, genuinely desirable, and genuinely good to drive, all at once. And for years, that car never quite arrived. The cheap ones were dull, the desirable ones were expensive, and the fun ones were out of reach for most people. Then Renault did something clever. It reached back into its own history, pulled out one of the most beloved names it ever made, and built it again as an electric car for the modern age. The result is the Renault 5, and it is the car that finally delivers on that long-broken promise. The original Renault 5 was a small car that an entire generation grew up with, cheerful, affordable, and absolutely everywhere. Reviving a name like that is risky, because nostalgia can so easily turn into a hollow gimmick. But Renault understood the assignment. Rather than simply slapping an old badge on a generic electric hatchback, it captured the spirit of the original and rebuilt it with genuinely modern engineering. The fact that it was named European Car of the Year tells you how well that gamble paid off. This is not just a charming throwback, it is a seriously good car that happens to look wonderful. And it really does look wonderful. From the outside, the Renault 5 is a masterclass in how to do retro without it becoming a pastiche. The boxy, upright shape echoes the original. The square wheel arches are a direct nod to the past, and yet every surface looks crisp, modern, and deliberate. The headlights take the round shape of the old car and reinterpret it with sharp detailing, and there is a genuinely lovely touch on the hood, a little indicator shaped like the number 5 that shows you the battery charge level. On the show floor, in its bright paint colors, it stops people in their tracks in a way almost no other affordable car manages. It looks expensive and joyful at the same time, which is a rare combination. Step inside and the same thoughtfulness continues. The cabin mixes retro charm with modern technology in a way that feels completely natural. There are 2 crisp screens running Renault's latest Google-based system, which means proper Google Maps and a fast, logical interface, but there are also physical buttons and dials for the things you use most, which so many cars now get wrong. The materials are bright and tactile, with playful fabric trim across the dashboard, and there are clever, characterful touches throughout, including a small fold-out holder on the center console that Renault cheerfully points out is the perfect size for a baguette. It is built to a price, so it is not lined in soft leather, but it feels special and well-made in a way that matters far more than outright luxury. Practicality is better than the cute proportions suggest. The boot holds 326 liters, around 11.5 cubic feet, which is one of the largest in the small electric class, and beats several rivals outright. The rear seats are best thought of as occasional rather than spacious, in keeping with a car this size, but for 2 people and their luggage, or a small family doing the school run and the weekly shop, it is genuinely usable every day. If breakdowns like this help you decide which small electric car is actually worth it, subscribe so you catch the next one. Underneath the charm is a properly sorted electric car. There are 2 battery sizes to choose from. The smaller 40 kilowatt-hour version comes with either 94 or 121 horsepower and offers around 190 miles of range, while the larger 52 kilowatt-hour version pairs a 148 horsepower motor with up to 252 miles of range and gets from 0 to 60 in around 8 seconds. But the numbers are not really the point. The Renault 5 is one of those rare small cars that is genuinely fun to drive, with sharp steering, a low center of gravity from the battery in the floor, and a chassis that feels eager and playful rather than just competent. It is the kind of car that makes an ordinary commute feel a little bit special, which is exactly what the original was famous for. The technology goes deeper than the screens, too. The Renault 5 can charge at up to 100 kilowatts on a fast charger, which is plenty for a battery this size, and it offers something genuinely clever for the money: the ability to feed power back out. It can run appliances through vehicle to load, and it even supports vehicle to grid, which means it can send energy back to your home or the network and potentially earn you money, a feature usually reserved for far more expensive cars. For those who want more, there is the hot version, the Alpine A290. It takes everything good about the Renault 5 and turns up the temperature, with up to 220 horsepower in its most powerful form, sharper handling, and a more aggressive look. It is proof that this little platform has real depth and that the spirit of the old hot Renaults lives on in electric form, giving the range a genuine performance halo rather than an afterthought. There is, of course, an honest catch worth being clear about. The entry-level car, with its smaller battery and around 190 miles of range, is fine for city and suburban life, but will start to feel limiting on regular long journeys, and getting in and out of the rear seats takes a bit of effort because this is, after all, a small car styled to look like a three-door. But neither of these is a real problem in context. Anyone who needs more range can simply choose the larger battery, which comfortably covers most journeys. And the compact size that makes the back seat tight is exactly what makes the car so easy and enjoyable to live with in town. And then there is the price, which is the part that really matters, because this is where the Renault 5 changes the conversation. It starts at under £23,000, which is around $29,000, and even the higher trims with the bigger battery stay reasonable. That undercuts stylish rivals like the electric Mini and the Fiat 500, and crucially, it does so without ever feeling like the cheaper option. For once, the affordable electric car is also the desirable one. That combination, more than any single spec, is why this car has been such a success, and why so many rivals are quietly worried about it. Taken together, the Renault 5 is one of the most important cars of its generation, because it proves something the industry had started to doubt. It proves that an electric car can be affordable and desirable and fun, all at the same time, without asking the buyer to compromise on any one of them. It is charming without being shallow, clever without being complicated, and priced within reach of the people who actually want it. Renault reached into its past to solve a very modern problem, and in doing so, it might just have built the blueprint for what the affordable electric car should be.